I did want to talk about this PPE thing, Chewy. Now, you don't know too much about this, you said, did you? But let me explain what it was. So Christopher Luxon and a bunch of his ministers, they went off to open up a road. You know, the kinds of roads that they criticise the previous government about, but when they get to cut the ribbon, they turn up happy and smiling and say it's amazing. That sort of thing that you see mayors all over the country do, like we see here in Dunedin. The one-way system, which was a waste of time. They were all down there cutting the ribbon and drinking the champagne when they had the chance. But what happened, now this was not because of the government. The government didn't instruct this, but they've obviously created an atmosphere where people are a bit concerned about the policies they're bringing in. So someone from Waka Kotahi decided that we have to get all new protective gear, high-vis jackets, things, and none of them are allowed to say Waka Kotahi. Now, they didn't need to do it, but obviously this atmosphere has been created about, you know, English first, Maori bad, and so someone felt like they had to do it. Here's the one thing I want to show you, yeah? Because Christopher Luxon was asked in the press conference, is this a waste of money? Is this a waste of time? You know, what does he think about it? And he basically, well, it's not my problem, which is kind of true because they didn't tell him to do it. But I just want to play this very quick bit, okay? This bit here.
Are you worried that agencies are wasting money to?
I don't think they are. As I said, we haven't gone through a program of talking about that. Many agencies have proactively gone about doing it. It doesn't come at huge cost.
$300, not a huge cost, but in a cost of living crisis, every dollar counts. Amelia Waite.
So $300 is what it costs. Not a big cost. I actually agree with Mr. Luxon. Not a big cost, right? He obviously, that's right. You think about a 200 whatever we are, $billion GDP or whatever it is. Not a big cost. But remember, here on this show, the very least we're going to do is hold this government accountable to the level and standard they wanted to hold the last government accountable to. This was Mr. Luxon before he was Prime Minister.
We want a government that cares about how every single dollar is spent, because every single dollar the government spends is ultimately a dollar from your pocket.
So you cannot say that in opposition, that the government has to be accountable for every single dollar. Then when a mere $300 is spent, go, yeah, but it's not much. You can't have it both ways. If you're going to set the standard of the previous government that they have to be accountable for every single dollar, then you are going to be held accountable for every single dollar.
Yeah, I mean, that's a danger of just using. So, well, Luxon's big on buzzwords, right? Nice little slogans that just basically mean nothing. By saying something like that every dollar matters. Yeah, it sounds good, but it also paints you into a hell of a corner.
100%.
Because now I want to see a line by, and this is something he's promised as well, remember, a line by line accounting of our tax dollars. I want to see how many pastries meet their end in his office. Well, how much am I paying for that?
We said the same thing about where they held their, their negotiations in a five-star hotel. Because remember, this was, I'm going to play it again, this was Luxon's standard for the previous government.
We want a government that cares about how every single dollar is spent, because every single dollar the government spends is ultimately a dollar from your pocket.
So today when he said, well, they don't spend much, that's not what you said 10 months ago. You said every single dollar comes from the taxpayer's pocket, so we have to be accountable for it. I'm sorry, sir. I agree with you, Chewy. They've set themselves a standard, but the standard they have set, they will be held accountable to, if by no one else, certainly by us.